Okay, we're live.
Hello, everybody. This is Tom Painter again, and I've got our techno wizards on there. I wouldn't say techno nerds because that's probably not correct, but techno wizards, I think, is what we came up with. Web wizards that have been busy behind the scenes making all of this wonderful system work. We got Jake and Ethan both on here, and we want to give some money away. So congratulations. Remember, mission number one is to provide financial rewards for students for attending online classes. So when you come to a live class like we're doing here, that we do on a weekly basis, you can make money for your investment account. Sharing with others, you can get money for that as well. And again, we're trying to get you to put that into an investment account. Why? Because it's crucial. The one thing that every adult tells me they wish they would have done is they wish they would have started earlier. So on here, you're back to your home page. I'm going to have you go to the leaderboards, and then we're going to pull up the top enrollers. Now, the way that you become an enroller is over under your name after you've logged in. Simply go over where it says, hi, Jacob. We'll show you Jacob's right here. And you can see that he has a unique referral link or QR code. So if he pulls up his link right there, you just copy that one right there where his number happens to be 10627. You just copy that and then message it or send it to somebody else. Or you can get a QR code. And what I do is I get my QR code. I just put it in my phone, click on it. And then when I want to give somebody a free membership, I just pull it up and say, here, just scan this. Now, the reason we do this is because we want this easy for you to be able to share. Number two is we want to connect the dots to see who the big influencers are and who the big enrollers are. Once they scan that, then as you scroll up on the page, you'll notice there's a place on there that they'll fill out the information. And it's very simple. What's your first name, last name? Give me a display name, because that's how you're going to be known around the world on a lot of the leaderboards. And a good email, because we need to send out an email and confirm it. As well as a good text number. And the reason you put your text number in is because that helps us figure out which country you're from. And then a simple password. Then you'll come down here, and the vast majority of you are just going to be an individual. Hey, I'm an individual. That's great. But if you are part of an organized group that we set up, then that's where you'll reach out to us and we'll add your group. You can add a whole high school or an elementary school or a college or other things like that. And that's all part of the leaderboards. So all the high schools around the world can compete with each other. Inside the high schools, the grades compete with each other. Inside the grades, all the students compete with each other, who compete with everybody around the world at the same time. But the vast majority of you say, hey, I'm just an individual. I'm not part of a big organized group. And so you're just going to come over here and click on individual and register as an individual. Okay, so that's all they need to do. Now let's go to the leaderboards. And so the first one is the top enroller. So when you share your QR code or your URL, then they're going to be connected to you. And you can see how this works. Our friends at Domo, we spent a lot of money building this thing. And you can look at the all-time enrollers. You can see all-time, last 30 days, and the last 7 days. So we want to, first of all, we want to congratulate all of you for all the wonderful work that you've done to share the wealth. Sharing the wealth of education. If you can teach a man to teach, then you can change a whole generation. Well, that's what we're trying to do, is to change a whole generation. So as you scroll up just a little bit, you can see this is our top enrollers for the last 7 days. So Jake and Ethan, I'm going to let you take a few minutes and talk about this some more.
Awesome. Go for it, Ethan.
All right. So right now we're putting some work on these leaderboards. So the drill down piece isn't actually working, but normally you're going to be able to go in here and click on your name. You'll be able to see the list of people who you've enrolled. So right here, just to walk you through how this leaderboard works, you can see you've got Johnson Etor at the top there, and he has 16 active enrollments. So what that means, I'm not sure what time period we are. Can you scroll up a little bit, Jake?
It's 7 days.
Okay, so in the last 7 days, 16 of the people who Johnson Etor has enrolled have been active on the site, learning. Maybe there's some new people who he signed up who have earned some points, or some of the people who he's signed up long ago, he's encouraged them to keep on learning and keep attending classes. So those are his active people. If you go to all time, then that'll be all of his active students. That'll include everybody he's enrolled. So now he's got 217 there. And then you can go back to 7 days where you can see that those numbers switch around. And the hours over on the side is those 16 people, how much time have they spent online in the last 7 days? So they've spent 21 hours learning on the site, which is really impressive to see people spending this much time learning, trying to improve themselves. And it's cool to see the impact that you're having. You know, not only did you invite them, but they're actually going and they're learning something, and hopefully it makes a big difference in their life and even in their kids' life. The way Tom's teaching about giving a man a fish or teaching a man to fish, this is both. You're giving the man the fish and you're giving them a fishing pole, and you're teaching them how to fish, and you're teaching them how they can teach their kids how to fish as well. So it's really great to see the impact all of you are having. And with such a simple thing like Tom was showing, with just pulling up a QR code, scanning it, you don't know the impact it's going to have on somebody else's life.
So clarification question on Johnson, he has 16 people that did something in the last 7 days. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Correct.
And those 16 people that did something is 21 hours worth of work.
Yep.
Now, he might have signed them up a month ago, but this is in this last 7 days, he actually did something. Is that correct? Okay.
That's correct.
Yes.
So it's important that you sign people up, but it's more important that you get them to class. We need to get people to class. Now, what's so fun about this system is you can see where it says hours. Well, naturally, the default is to sort by hours, but you can click on that and you can change that to the smallest to the biggest, or whatever you want to do. You can change the active enrollments. You can go up or down with it, and you can change it by last name. You know, if you want to go find yourself, just go click on the last name. You'll see that it pops it into alphabetical and stuff like that. So that is a cool system. And it's taken us a year to be able to figure this out, but it is pretty cool of what we've got. So again, the real goal is to get people into hours to go through classes. And then after they go through the classes, the next biggest thing is to have them pull the trigger and actually do stuff and get stuff done. Okay, back to you guys. Should we pop down and show them the influencer?
Yeah, let's do it. So this leaderboard helps us figure out not only the progress of the people that you referred, but the people that they went and referred. So this can really show you your impact on a huge group of people. So like, as you look at this is Johnson. He enrolled 217 people all time, but those 217 people went out and referred another 228 people. So because of Johnson joining the site, 445 people have joined the site, and they've done a total of 5,000 hours. So that's a huge impact.
Now, one thing on that 5,000, which is interesting, is that's just on the classes that are online. You add the other classes, like the class we're having today, then that's an additional chunk. So that for every hour people are online, you know, doing it whenever they want, the live classes and the replay of those live classes is about half of that. So he's got over 7,000 hours of impact.
Yeah, that's awesome. So let's check out just the last 7 days and look at some of these people. So yeah, it's pretty incredible to see people's even in the last month how much of an impact. So if you're curious, if you're enrolling people and you want to see, am I really making a difference? This is the chart where you can really see what impact you're making. There's people, most of the people that come to our site are because people like you guys are referring them. And so this is the way that this grows, and this is how you can really share the wealth, by sharing these classes with other people.
So that is pretty cool. And so now what we want to do is we want to give some money away. We want to thank you for doing that. So let's go back up to the leaderboard to the top enroller. So it's so much easier if we just do this off the enroller side of it. And you'll notice that we're going to click on the 7 days. We do this every week. And so let's stay right there. So as you look at that, this is what's happened over the last 7 days, and it's naturally sorted by hours. So if you are on this board, okay, let's scroll up to make it just a little bit bigger so they can read. So this is this for the last 7 days, and you can see Mary Chris and Francis are the top two. They didn't enroll that many people, but those people have been online for many, many hours. Johnson is next. If you are on this board, then I'm going to have you fill out a form here. And again, it's only the last 7 days because we do this every week. So we're going to do that on the last 7 days. And so we're going to pop in and give you a code that you can click on to be able to do that and fill that out. And again, remember, it's just the last 7 days. You need to click on the last 7 days, not all time, to be able to do that. And so we're going to put that into the chat. Okay. Now, let's go to one last leaderboard that I want to show off, which is really, really cool. Let's go to the groups. Now, the groups is something we're going to be doing an awful lot more of this year. And these are organized groups. Now, first of all, you have your own group. Everybody that signs up gets their own group. Everybody that signs up gets their own group. In addition to that, we have the organized groups. The schools, churches, charities, groups and teams, the high schools, the elementary schools, the churches, whatever it might happen to be. And in this case, you'll notice that there's all these kinds of categories. And then if you simply click on high school, and again, this is what we're going to be building out in 2023 as the next section. You'll click on high school and it'll give you a list of all the different high schools that are competing with each other. And then as you click on that, it'll show you all the schools there and how, and then all the grades, then all the individuals. Okay, let's go back up to the top if you would, please. And I wanted to show you one last thing. Go over to the successes and the charities. I'm so excited about success and charities. And let's pull that down to the students that have received rewards right there. So this is my mom and dad, and this fund was named after them, but that's the number of rewards that we've sent out around the world. As you scroll down, there's well over 3,000 names on here. We're going to be updating this shortly, and the average student's got about 9 rewards. And when you get that reward, we want you to put that into your investment account. Now, under the success and charity is the Make a Difference. We're going to be doing another major Make a Difference acts of service coming up for Valentine's Day. So give me another week or two, and we're going to be kicking off the Make a Difference acts of service as well. All right, so that's what we want you to do. This is talking about the people that have made an impact this week. Go to leaderboards, go to the top enroller, look at the last 7 days, and if you're on there, fill out that little form that we just put into the chat, and we're going to send out some money for that. Ethan, Jake, anything else on this section?
I think that was perfect. Yep.
Yeah,
Just
awesome.
go ahead and keep inviting people. Share this with your friends and family. You really never know how much of a difference you're going to make. You know, you can't really connect the dots moving forward, but you can connect them moving backwards, like we've talked about a lot before on these calls. You really never have any idea the impact it's going to make until you do it. So make sure you're inviting your friends, invite your family, get them on these Zoom calls. And it's really going to make a big difference in your life.
And just teach people. That's your job, is to teach them. You know, and it can be as simple as the 5 steps. It can be anything you learn. There's hundreds and hundreds of hours of wonderful classes on the site, and we want you to be able to share with others. This is Tom, Jake, and Ethan saying goodbye for a second. We're going to come back with a whole nother section, and we're going to be talking about some more great stuff. Make a difference, make it happen, and remember that every